Okay, it's 9/14/16. I put this whale tail, or hydrofoil is the real name for it. I tried two other different ones. Can't remember the name of them, but I know that they didn't fit. I'm just going to tell you about the one that did fit. This is a 1998 Mercury 40 horsepower Mercury Force motor. It's called Force. And this is it right there. Force motor. And I ain't gonna say much about the Force motor itself because I've got another video on that. But this is the one I finally came up with. Is this one right here? It's a SE Sport 300 Hydrofoil. It takes, like you see, the fins here that I bolted it to. They're not very wide. They're only about this wide, I guess. I'll look up underneath, see if I can see them well. The hydrofoil's going to be up underneath too, but I don't vouch for any other motor mounting procedure or whatever. I just can tell you about this motor because the Force is unique to itself. This motor is on a Bass Tracker, which I showed that in the last video. 16 Pro 16, 1997 boat, 1998 motor. But let me show you underneath here too how it bolts on. You have to start out with laying this on top of your motor, or your cavitation plate, I think it's called. And you see I didn't come all the way up. I left this about, this rises right here, so I left it just about 1/4 of an inch back. And I did that for another reason, for two reasons. But let me show you why I did that. I can get up under here and let you see it from the underside. You got your now I can't think of the name of this thing, this metal piece right here. Boy, it eludes me what it's called. Trim tab. Trim tab that I had to miss with these bolts. Now on the front I knew I was going to miss them. The bolts on the front right here. Had to miss this little that sucks water up, and I had to miss them with these two bolts. But the trim tab, where it was critical, was I had to slide it back a little bit, is so I wouldn't drill a hole through this aluminum trim tab from the top. So that's why I had to slide it back that 1/4 of an inch. And if you can see, I'll zoom in, it looks like, well, you can see all the way through the hole there in that well, impossible field of vision, okay, right there. And you can see the trim tab from the top, beginning of it. But anyway, I got about a 1/4 of an inch right here to spare, and like a 1/4 of an inch over here. So you want to get your perfect measurement from the top to mount this thing, because you got to drill holes, wind up drilling about a 1/4 inch hole. And it could be a long video, I didn't want it to be, but you got to see right here where you can push this up, and then you measure the distance between here and the motor, the edge of this, between here and the motor. Find yourself a measuring point, the bottom of the foot of the motor, and then on both sides it's got to be exactly the same. If it wasn't, this thing would be cocked to the left or the right. You don't want that. So here's the box it came with. Now these come with a mount. This doesn't come with a mount, whole mountless drillless plate that you can put on here too, but that's about another $60. I think this thing was right at $60. Might have been $69, but Google it and find it as cheap as you can. SE Sport. And this has come with a template. If you want to use a template, I didn't. I just pushed the thing up there and centered it. So no brainer. So anyway, here's a picture of this thing again. And I bought this from Cabela's. If you can get it for $60, you're doing good. High performance hydrofoil. This is the one that fit this motor. Can't vouch for any other motor, but fits this one. So this video won't last an hour. anything else I can show you. There's my little punch. Here it is, my steel punch. Now, this is what you want to use, this little steel punch, spring-loaded punch, that it makes a little starter hole, not really a hole, indentation in a cavitation plate. If I wish to punch it right here, it'd make a little mark where you can start drilling with a smaller drill, of course, than a 1/4 inch. You want to start out with 1/32 or 1/8, something like that would be fine. And then go up from there. And use WD-40 or something, and make sure when you drill that that drill bit is dead center, just like this is dead center of this hole. Your mark's going to be, well, that's going to give you a dead center spot anyway when you use this. And you make the other hole a punch mark, dead center. This motor's not all the way down where it needs to be, but that's what you do. And basically I can't push it all the way down. That's what it does, makes a noise. It springs back, then spring back down. But these can be bought at Harbor Freight, where I bought this one, and you can buy them at Lowe's and probably Ace Hardware. So if you have any questions, just email me at basscarp, BASSCARP at Comcast.net. Over and out. Adding this whale tail, hydrofoil, whatever you want to call it, to my boat was a good improvement. I improved the speed of the boat about 1 to 2 miles an hour. It kept it from porpoising big time. It was porpoising bad. It wouldn't plane very easily. It planes faster now, and it has a smoother ride. It also somehow let the motor pee more. I guess there's more water staying down there by the cavitation plate, so it let it pee. I added this pee line, but there was already a nut here, 1/4 inch nut. But it makes the boat handle better, seems. And what else? Well, the motor vibrates notoriously. The vibration in the motor lowered. It was not as much vibration. So, I mean, that's the reason to buy this sucker. And what else? I guess that's all. But it did a lot for it. So I'm very pleased. And glad I did it. Glad I drilled the holes. I hate drilling holes through the cavitation plate, but it is what it is. I didn't want to spend another $70, $60, $70 for the drillless one. If you Google it, you can find that too. Okay? Alright, good enough.